All right. Good day to you. My name is Fred Oakman. And as always with me today is Mr. Jake Peters. We are PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 157. This is a show where we share our feelings about the current state of PlayStation. Before we get on with the show, I'd like to invite you all to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome. Visit us on Twitter at PS This Is Awesome and Tumblr, psisisawesome.tumblr.com. If you want to make fun of our trophy list on the PSN, you can find me at anchorless_81 and Mr. Jake Peters at jakesaw01. As always, you can write the show at psisisawesome@gmail.com. And most importantly, do not forget to share the show with your friends. Be sure to leave comments and rate the podcast as you see fit. I'm sorry we did not have a special song this episode, but we do hope you enjoyed the one from the last episode. Jake, how are you today?
All right, I suppose.
Yeah, crazy day today. Just a crazy day, right?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's just, I guess if you're following what's going on in the world, it could seem like a crazy day or whatever, but I haven't really noticed a whole lot, other than my own personal running around. Nobody's really talked about the election or anything, so.
Right.
I think it's just something that, I guess maybe people don't know we're recording this on election day. And it's like, I think it's just one of those things where people have been just fucking talking about it for literally since Trump got elected. Mm-hmm. And like waiting for 2020 to, for the next voting and all this stuff. And it's just been nonstop relentless with everything with COVID and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that people just generally don't want to fucking talk about it anymore. And
they don't want to hear about it. They don't want to talk about it. They want the country to be in a better spot. Yeah. I just think that it's just
to be over.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. It's just, this whole thing is just like been a wild ride. But yeah. So yeah, we also live in pretty rural areas. So I didn't expect there to be any kind of crazy, I didn't expect to get threatened with guns or anything. I'm going to vote. I actually voted at the polls today at 8:30 this morning. You went earlier. But yeah, so I don't know. It's been a weird day just because everything just feels like we're just sitting on this fulcrum. Everyone's just kind of holding their breath to see what's going to happen. I mean, there's been so much talk, like literally, like you said, since Trump's been in office, it has been talk like every day. There's not a day where there isn't some sort of news story that involves politics or what's going on in the country. So hopefully 2021 will bring better things for us all. We do know that the PlayStation 5 is coming out in less than 10 days. So that is something to look forward to. Jake, I talked to you briefly. This isn't even in my notes, but maybe we should talk just briefly about the benefits of, or maybe the benefit of waiting to purchase a TV that's going to support 4K at 120 whatever refresh rate. They're so damn expensive right now. And I was very surprised when HD was a thing on TVs. Like, I think we got our Vizio or whatever. We have a Vizio. I think we got a 65-inch, and we paid close to like $800 for it when we got it. And literally, it was like the next year you could get them for like $450, $500, same TV. And it's like, wow, that dropped very fast in price. But now 4K is like the new thing. So what's your take, man? What's your take on TVs? Are you gonna? I know you've been shopping around. I've kind of been looking, but to be honest, I had like a really big bill slap me in the face this month on top of the cost of paying or buying a PlayStation 5. So I don't think I'm right now in the market, but if Black Friday throws a good TV, I don't know, man. I'm going to be tempted. What's your take? Is it worth the wait? Do you get one?
I don't think it's worth the wait. I mean, 4K TVs are cheaper than they've ever been before, and you can buy a 4K TV for literally like $300. It's just, I mean, I think that from your perspective, like what you're seeing is just that you're always going to see, quote unquote, the new 4K TVs at like, $2,500 for a new one. And it's not that like 4K TVs aren't coming down in price. They are. It's just that those TVs are like the newest and the greatest and the advanced technology, and the newest version of HDR, the HDMI 2.1, like all this kind of shit that like you don't need for PS5. Like, yeah, like you can utilize a lot of it, and those really expensive TVs are going to look a lot better. But dude, if you just do some Googling, if you want to buy a 4K TV on a budget for doing PlayStation, like PS4 Pro or PS5, you can buy a TV that'll utilize like all of the shit that PS5 has to offer for $600. So, and that's cheap for a fucking TV. Because you have to remember, like, like on Black Friday, you might be able to murder a bunch of grandmas, but to get a TV for $200 or something like that. But it's going to be an absolute shit 4K television. So it's like people just get them because they're cheap and they want 4K TV, but it's going to be absolute garbage.
Yeah, $5 for this 4K TV.
So like the thing is that the thing that I think most people maybe, I don't know if people know this or not, but you and I have talked about it.
Enlighten me a little bit. Yeah, because I'm not very good with this stuff.
Like if you're going to buy a 4K TV for playing video games, you have to do your research, because if you just buy any random 4K TV, you might get lucky, or you might get one that has really bad input lag, and your TV will play like it will feel like shit when you're playing video games, because your controller will actually feel like it's lagging, because it is.
The signal doesn't go to the TV fast enough. That's essentially what you're talking about. Yeah. So like you make the motion on the controller, but by the time you see it actually happen on the screen, there's a little bit of a lag, so you feel that much more disconnected from the game, and it kind of throws off. It's harder to make your accurate jumps, shots, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it makes everything feel like floaty and disconnected.
Is that based on refresh rate, or what's that based on?
No, refresh rate is something different. It's literally based on how fast the television can process the signal coming in from the PlayStation and convert it to the images on the screen. Essentially what the PlayStation does is the TV does is it grabs the signal frame by frame from the PlayStation, and then it converts it to an image that can be displayed on the television. There's, a bunch of magic that goes on in there. And, obviously there is some overlap between input lag and refresh rate. Like if your refresh rate is super low, then, your input, the thing is that like your refresh rate is always going to be fast enough that it's going to be able to, compared to your input lag. So, I don't think that you're ever really going to have any issues there. The biggest thing is like with refresh rate is whether you get 60 versus 120 hertz, because some of the new PlayStation consoles, that's going to be the one thing that you might want to spend money on TV for.
Get the 120.
If you really want the best experience. I mean, most people are going to play with a 60 hertz TV and it's going to seem totally fine to them, and it's not going to look any different. But I think that the newest consoles support 120 hertz.
They do.
If that's true, and you really want to get like the maximum out of your experience, then maybe you want to buy a 120 hertz TV. The problem is that you can go on the market and look, and there'll be a bunch of TVs, like we were talking about in our text earlier. There'll be a bunch of TVs in quotes that are 120 hertz. And it's not that they're 120 hertz, it's that they simulate 120 hertz by like doubling frames and stuff like that. Yeah. Whereas there are only, I would say I don't know about a minority, but there's definitely fewer TVs on the market that are legitimate 120 hertz than are ones that are simulated 120 hertz. So if you see a TV like a $500 Vizio or something like that, and it says it's 120 hertz, it's probably lying. Or
probably simulating.
Or it'll say it like in fine print that it's not true 120 hertz. It's like they'll give it some fancy name for what it really, for the simulated version of 120 hertz, but it's not the same. So,
the issue that I'm running into is I have a 65-inch TV right now. So the issue that I'm struggling with personally is, we are both on budgets. We're not rock stars. We don't have tons of money just thrown around that we can just disposable cash. But we're also not poor. But the thing is like you want to make educated, informed decisions. My thing is I'm so used to my 65-inch TV in my living room. That's my gaming TV. That like going from a 55 to a 65 right now for these 4K TVs with 120 hertz is a matter of like $400. So that's a big jump in price for an extra 10 inches of TV screen. So that's where I'm kind of getting caught up is like, should I just go 55 and pay a little less and have the nicer TV? Or should I wait and hope to get a 65-incher that I'm looking at now, cheaper next year, and just game on my non-4K TV on my PS5, which seems like stupid, really. But then you get the DualSense. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. You almost want a 4K TV if you're playing a PS5 at this point. Like, if you have one, I don't know.
I think I've told you about this website before, but if you just go to fucking ratings.com, which is, it's not spelled ratings, it's spelled RTINGS.com. They do super thorough reviews of all the TVs that come out. And one of the big things that you want to look, so basically if you're worried if a television is going to be good for gaming, look it up on this website. And one of the things that you want to like scroll through the review until you get to input lag, and anything under like 20 milliseconds is pretty good. I think it's like 17 to 20 milliseconds starts to become noticeable from human like reaction time. So you want something that's under 20 milliseconds for the input lag. And it'll give you a breakdown that's like if you look at one, it'll be like, this is the input lag at 1080p 60 hertz. This is the input lag at 1080p 120 hertz. This is the input lag at 4K 60 hertz with HDR. This is the input lag. So it like all the different modes you can have the TV in.
Right.
It'll show you what the lag is. And
that's really cool.
The other big thing that people don't think about, and some people don't have to worry about it because the TV does it automatically. Most televisions have game mode, which completely change the amount of input lag. Like a standard television, if you're just watching movies, if there's lag between your DVD player and your television, it doesn't matter because there's no back and forth between. There's no
input, right? From you.
Between you and the TV. But for gaming, you have to have that crisp kind of snappy control. So, they give you a game mode which bypasses a bunch of shit that's inside the TV and allows you to make it process faster. But anyway, one of the things that I would recommend is just, honestly, you could just Google best 4K TVs for gaming, but ratings.com has an awesome article for 2020. If you just Google rtings.com best 4K gaming TVs, they have a list in here. And it's like all the best TVs they have. And I think, Fred, I was telling you earlier about, maybe I wasn't telling you this about earlier. Maybe I was just thinking about this. But the best, and I've seen this not just on this website, but literally all over the internet. One of the best gaming TVs you can buy on a budget is by a Chinese brand called TCL. You've probably seen them at maybe Walmart or Best Buy or something like that. They're usually generally cheaper all around. They typically have like a version that has got like super low input lag. And the biggest thing that makes it kind of budget is maybe like the construction is a little less fancy. The viewing angles aren't going to be quite as good. So if you're going to be using this TV where you're going to be sitting at like 60 degrees off center, which why the fuck would you watch a TV like that? But you may have like some degradation of like the, it might kind of it wouldn't get blurry, but the colors would kind of fade in it, Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
But if you're sitting straight on, they have some of the best input lag. By that, I mean lowest. Of even like all the TVs in the list. Like it's super good.
Wow. And yeah, because usually when you Google this kind of thing, you don't go to the site you're talking about. They show you literally the 5 best TVs for this. And they're all like $1,500 to $2,000. They're like, these are the best ones.
Like the one, like I'm on the ratings.com article right now. And if the best budget TV is a TCL 5 series. And if I look at Amazon right now granted 50 inch is smaller than what you were talking about, but you can get a 50 inch for $400.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's got HDR and everything. So that's what you want. I mean, because basically the other 4K, big thing other than 4K and 120 hertz is HDR, which is like, that's how you get
Horizon took advantage of that, right?
What's that?
Horizon took advantage of the HDR graphics
on PS4 Pro. Yeah, I think they had a patch for that. But dude, I don't know.
You're in the market, right? You're in the market.
I've been shopping a lot, and I don't know. The biggest thing is like how much money I want to spend. To be honest with you,
that's what it boils down to. Yeah,
because I'm kind of thinking that like literally, unless there's some consoles available in store at launch, I'm probably not going to get a PS5 for a while. So I might just buy a new TV now, and then whenever I get a PS5, it'll kind of I already have one or whatever.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you've ever been like how often you ever go to Best Buy, Fred. They like if you go in there and look at like the good TVs, it like literally it's like it would be like I don't know, you driving the car you have on a normal basis, and then let's just say randomly you get the option to like drive a fucking Ferrari.
Right. There is a huge difference.
And then you get back in your car and you're like, wow, my car does suck. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like your car specifically. I just mean like generally, like it's
right. It's night and day difference between a good TV and a shitty TV.
Dude, it's like, I remember because I didn't look at TVs for a long time. And then like a year or two ago, I went into a Best Buy and it had been like years like probably since I bought my television, like maybe 5 years before that.
Because if you're not looking at other TVs, you don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. And it's like, what the hell? It's a TV's a TV. And then I went into fucking Best Buy and LG had come out with their OLED TV. And I literally was standing in front of this thing with my jaw fucking hanging open, like practically with tears in my eyes, being like, this is incredible what these TVs look like. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not looking for a TV as big as you are, so I can afford to buy something a little better probably. But
I think I would settle for a secondary TV just for gaming, like a 4K. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. Like, I want it all in one room. I want it all in the same room. Like, where I'm gonna, because like usually I access all my media via the console. You know what I mean? So I'm watching Netflix, or I'm watching Hulu, or I'm watching YouTube through the PlayStation. So, you know, whatever TV that's hooked up to is the TV I'm going to watch my movies on also. So you kind of want a bigger screen for it. At least I do. I'm getting old, man. My vision ain't like it used to be.
Dude, I've been playing on a 42-inch TV for a long time.
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, so you can buy up.
I could, if I move to a 55-inch TV, it's going to be
huge.
It's more than 10 inches larger than my current television.
That's awesome.
And the thing is that anytime I've ever played on a really big TV like you have, like I for a little bit played on like my.
You get dizzy?
I played on, you know, my 42-inch, and then a couple times I was like watching my parents' house or something, and I played on their TV, which is like a 65 or a 70. And I just feel uncomfortable playing on it. Like I feel out of my element. Everything seems too big. I feel like I'm moving too much, trying to see what's going on.
Interesting.
Like it's weird. I'm sure I would get used to it. You get used to everything.
Yeah.
But
that's funny.
It's a strange kind of transition.
It's weird to dip your toes into that pool.
Yeah. I don't know. We've been kind of rambling about TVs for a while.
Let's shut up about TVs.
Yeah, I am definitely in the market. You brought up in text earlier. You brought up the Sony X900, and that
TV looks awesome.
That's one of the ones that I was looking at. I was looking at the X900. So it's one of the TVs that's included on that list that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I think it's like what? It's about $1,000 for a 50-inch or 55-inch.
About $900. Amazon has a 55-inch at $998.
Yeah, $1,000 for a 55-inch.
I mean, that's pretty cool. So I was looking at that, and I was actually looking at the Samsung Q80T, which is slightly more money, but it's a slightly better television. By slightly more, I mean like $100 more.
Yeah,
but I've always wanted. I don't know if I'll be willing to pony the money up for it, but I've always wanted one of those LG OLED TVs. And
after you saw it that one time,
dude, they're so
they hooked you.
It's so like the 55-inch in the CX model, and the 55-inch is $1,400, which is expensive. But dude, they look so fucking good. It's honestly amazing. The problem with OLEDs that you have to worry about is we thought we were over this when the LED TVs came out,
like the burnout.
But OLEDs you can actually have burn in.
Yeah,
and which seems counteraintuitive. Because
look at our Vita screens, man.
Yeah, well, mine isn't burned in because I never use it, but it's like it takes a long time. Like I was watching I was looking at because Ratings actually did a study on that where they had a TV and they left it on for literally like 2 years with like certain things playing. And as long as it wasn't something that was like had constant shit on the screen all the time that you would recognize, it doesn't really burn in that bad. Like it did like. One was like CNN,
like a news ticker or something at the bottom.
One was like live sports or something like that. The live sports one, you almost couldn't even tell that there was burn-in because there's so much motion on the screen all the time.
Yeah.
But dude, the one from CNN, you can literally clearly see the fucking ticker at the bottom of the screen. You can clearly see the silhouette of a news anchor because it's always that view, you know, a news anchor in the middle with the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Even though it's changing all the time, who's on TV, yada, yada, yada. It's like that same basic image all the time.
The background of the ticker is still down there.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But anyway, we don't have to talk about TVs anymore.
Shit, 20 minutes in. That was a nice icebreaker.
Yeah, I just I'm getting kind of excited about buying a new TV. I got so much stuff I have to pay for.
Yeah, but, dude, I hear you. Dude, I had to drop.
Yeah, my car costs a lot of money today. So
let's skip games that we're currently playing, because I haven't played anything new, and there's really not a whole lot to talk about. I just want to kind of get to the news, unless there's something specific you want to talk. If you're having a great experience with anything right now.
No, I mean I've been playing Wasteland 3 some more. Dude, that game, I like it, but I actually really disappointed by how buggy it is. Like I mentioned before, nothing game breaking, but there's just all these like little like bugs that are just like lack of polish that I'm just like, why is this in this game? Like, I don't understand. Like, why didn't you just take an extra few months and just make it better? I mean, but that said, it's not really that big of a deal. I've also actually been playing, I started something new last weekend. Every once in a while I'll get into like simulation games, like hockey games and stuff like that.
Sure.
I don't know if I've really ever talked about it on the podcast. I mean, you know that like I'm really into motorcycles and like riding my bike fast on the track and stuff like that. I bought Moto Gp 19, which is like imagine Gran Turismo for motorcycle racing, essentially.
That's cool.
So I've been kind of playing that around. It's really, really fucking hard. I mean, you've played like Gran Turismo and stuff.
Yeah.
Simulation racing games are, even on like the easiest mode, they're really difficult.
Yeah, they are challenging. Well, cool, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said before, we're less than 10 days out from the PS5 release. I just learned today on Push Square that the PS5 is going to ship with an HDMI 2.1 cable, which is actually kind of nice because those cables are probably pretty pricey.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So that's cool. So we're going to be getting a cable with that. And then the PS Plus offerings were surprising for November, Jake. We're going to get Shadow of War, which is a sequel to Shadow of Mordor, the Lord of the Rings game, and Hollow Knight. And then we were surprised that we're going to get Bug Snacks on the PS Plus.
Talking about Bug Snacks. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. It kind of reminds me of, what song is that? DuckTales, the old DuckTales song.
A little bit. That song's fucking dope. That show was awesome too.
Yeah, dude. That was a great show. So any comment? Did you ever play Shadow of Mordor, which was the first one? I did, and I beat it. I think I bought it on Black Friday, actually.
So it was Shadow of Mordor was the first one, and then Shadows of War was the second one, right?
Yes.
Or what's the second one?
Shadow of War. Yeah.
I did not.
It has that Nemesis system.
I mean, I was always kind of interested in it. I never like bit the bullet and, bought it or played it or anything like that. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm not interested in it. It was just something that like never kind of fit into my schedule.
Yeah, they have really great graphics, and the story. People are kind of wishy-washy on the story, of course, because they're really into the Lord of the Rings, and I don't know, it's kind of like their own little story for different people and stuff in the lore. But the first game was really, really good. I enjoyed it. It was a little rinse and repeat, and I hear the second one is kind of the same. But I am excited to try it and dive into that Nemesis system, which. Not to go into too much detail, but like if you kill somebody or you don't kill somebody, you go into battle and you try to fight somebody and they actually escape, they actually return later in the game. They're all named enemies. They come back and they remember you. And they're like, you tried to kill me at the blah, 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 but I want back. And then like it's like, oh shit, now he's more difficult to fight. And I think there was also you can actually recruit some of these other races and orcs and stuff to fight alongside you, which is interesting. But that game looks really cool. Hollow Knight, I don't know if I've played it. I know that game gets a lot of high praise, and I don't know. Nobody knows anything about Bug Snacks because that's coming out. But only the PS5 version is free. There is a PS4 version of the game, but only the PS5 is free. FYI, go ahead.
I have Hollow Knight, and I've played it some. It's one of those things where, like, I think that I like it, but it's too dreary for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's just the aesthetic of the game is very dark and dreary. Kind of like very sad and somber. It's all blacks and whites and grays, and the art style is awesome. It's just like when I play it, I can't help but kind of feel sad. And like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's just kind of the atmosphere and the music and the art. But it seems like a pretty legit, like rogue, like, adventure platformer type game. It seems like it's probably pretty hard overall. I think that everybody says it's a good game, and I have no reason to discount that. I've played it for, like I said, maybe 2 or 3 hours and enjoyed what I played. It's just one of those games where, especially this time of year, like I don't need any help being depressed. So,
yeah, right. We won't see the sun for a while. I mean, it's out this week a little bit, but I think, dude, we're cruising right up on that time period where it's just going to be gray skies for 5 months.
Yeah.
Gloomy.
Well, and it's even now that the clock rolled back this past weekend.
You get out of work and it's like
so it
dark
doesn't
out.
matter. I mean, yeah, okay, the sun's out, but it's like, okay, I can see the sun from my office window, but by the time I get in my car at the end of the day, it's dark outside.
Vitamin D levels are very low in this part of the world. All right, last episode we spoke briefly on the praise of the DualSense controller and and all the good vibes it was getting and all the critique, the positive criticism it was getting. According to Push Square, which we like to get a lot of our news stories from, third-party developers are apparently embracing all of the features of the DualSense. Resident Evil The Village have announced that they will be taking full advantage of the DualSense controller and the 3D audio and ray tracing for their game. So that's kind of cool because they're third-party. They're not in bed with Sony per se. So for them to develop a game that's going to take full advantage of the DualSense, that's promising. That to me, that means that it might be semi-easy to incorporate into game development. I don't know. Jake?
Yeah, I have to imagine it's probably, Sony probably kind of put it into their SDK for the PS5, where it's just like, if you could probably just make it work kind of like vibration or any of the other kind of features that are kind of standard with PS5 now, they can probably just kind of implement it. It's just up to them as far as their creativity of how well they use it.
Right. I'm with you. I'm excited about that news. Supermassive Games, responsible for Until Dawn, have been working on their Dark Pictures anthology. And I guess Man of Medan came out and that got mediocre reviews, but I still want to play that game. But apparently the newer game, Little Hope, is receiving much better views, which is exciting. And Jake, any interest in that series, the Dark Pictures anthology? I loved Until Dawn. It made our list last week on the Scary Games list. They are still at it, and they're making some really interesting little, I think, shorter, abbreviated experiences similar to Until Dawn. Are you interested in these at all?
I was very interested in it, and I still kind of am. Like you said, Dark Pictures Anthology, the first one
was kind of lukewarm.
Was received in a lukewarm fashion. And so, I wanted to probably...
Maybe on sale?
Maybe get it on sale or something like that. But I'm glad to hear that Little Hope is receiving a lot better reviews. I would probably still like to play them. It's just a matter of getting to it.
Do you think they tie together at all, the characters at all? Or are they just individual stories, like small mini stories that have nothing to do with one another?
I would find it easy to believe that...
Some common thread, maybe?
There's probably some universal kind of constants between the games where it's like... like in like Final Fantasy, there's chocobos in all of them and stuff like that. So there's probably some like quirks of the universe that are constant among all the games, but I don't think that the stories overlap really at all.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Everybody was kind of, this is a new news story, just so you know, not much of a segue on my part, but everybody was kind of speculating that with how easy on the PS5 teardown those faceplates could come off, they'd be very, very easy to customize. And there was a company that recently jumped on that bandwagon and was accepting pre-orders for custom faceplates for the PS5. Sony shut them the hell down very fast. So, I mean, they probably just rolled the dice and said, well, if we can get away with this, we're going to make a fuck ton of money. If not, then we'll just cease and desist and stop before we get in any trouble. But I don't think they manufactured anything at this point, but that's interesting. So do you think that is alluding to the fact or the idea that Sony will be offering custom faceplates in the future, or do they just not want people jumping into their turf so soon?
I don't honestly understand how they even can shut them down.
I don't know.
How can you shut somebody down for making something like they're not selling it as a Sony product or anything like that?
I think part of the issue is that they're creating something that's patented, which are the covers to that, and they're selling that. I think if they were to buy PS5s and customize the faceplates then and sell the PS5 aftermarket for a higher price, that would be okay with the custom faceplates. But I think actually producing and manufacturing, that's the word. Sorry, I've been having a brain freeze all day. Manufacturing these plates specific for the PS5 and selling them, I think they might have crossed the line there. I don't know. That's just speculation.
I don't get why
because they're making them. I think if they bought something from Sony, modified it, Like if you could send your white plates to them and they could put a graphic on them and send them back, that's probably fine. And they could charge for that. But I think producing the plate itself and sending you brand new ones, off limits.
I guess
that's just my opinion.
I guess I didn't actually see like did they have any mock-ups of what these plates were going to look like?
Yeah, man, they were just all colored. I don't think that they were just colors.
They looked the same. They were just colored.
That's my understanding. Yeah.
I guess what I would want is for somebody to develop side plates that made it not fucking look like the PlayStation 5.
Right.
Make them that look like a box, or make them that look like,
not like a modem
shape. Yeah. That's why I was curious about how they could shut them down. But if they're making literally the same exact patented shape that Sony
they are.
made, like, okay, I could get Sony being like, all right, shut them down. Now, some Chinese company is going to do it anyway, and there's nothing Sony can do about it.
Yeah,
right? It's like, but if they were making like custom shapes or whatever, I don't see how Sony could really stop them. But
no, I don't think they could at that point. But if you're taking the exact mold and the same design and just producing them in your own factory and then just coloring them and selling those, I think you're crossing some lines. But anyways, real quick, this is kind of a bummer, man. I don't know if you heard this, but Sony indicated that the PS5 games won't support VR. The news is according to Push Square and UploadVR.com. They indicated that to use the current headset with the PS5, you have to take advantage of backwards compatibility. This speaks fine to games for PS4 that have free upgrades to PS5. So, for example, if you had Hitman or, let's say my Star Wars game, right? Battle, whatever it was called, Squadrons, you can use backwards compatibility and interface the VR unit with the PS5 and play your PS4 VR games on the PS5. But if the game is made specifically for PS5 and it's an upgraded version and it's for the PS5, that will not support the VR modes. So you have to play the PS4 version. So if you want the upgraded Hitman PS5 version, but you want to utilize the VR version, you have to buy the PS4 one as well. Luckily, the new Hitman comes out and it's a free upgrade. But that's going to suck if you're going to have to buy the same game twice just to enjoy a VR mode. So Jim Ryan indicated that Sony still believes in VR, but they don't think it's going to have its moment this year or next as being a big part of entertainment. So that's kind of weird.
Part of me is wondering it doesn't really seem to make sense to me, but part of me is wondering if they're just gearing up for the next version of VR. They're just like, hey, we're just going to, right off the bat, we're going to say PS5 games don't support VR in the anticipation of only PS5 games will be supported by PSVR 2 or whatever. You know what I mean? So like,
oh yeah, maybe you're right.
You know what I mean? So like it could be that they're just trying to literally create a division between the two generations.
I didn't even think about that.
Have to like muddy the waters between like, having some that can do both, and this one only does this generation and this one only, like they're probably just like,
sure,
fuck it. We're just going to cut the line here that says, okay, PS4 is all PSVR 1 and PS5 and beyond is all PSVR 2 or whatever.
Yeah, that's interesting. The naming convention threw me. I just assumed like PSVR just meant VR games.
No,
I guess that's not true.
I'm assuming he's referring to specifically the existing PlayStation VR.
Not the new unit, which might be called, Extra Sense VR or something.
Yeah. Who the hell knows?
Sixth Sense VR.
It'll be something stupid, I'm sure. Or it'll be called PSVR 2, which is fine. It's just, yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's a little bit of a positive spin on it. That's not going to happen. But I have to hope that that's probably what's going on.
Well, the other thing I was thinking too is like, if it were interpreted the way that I interpreted that, maybe that would just mean that they're going to work out a VR headset very much like the Quest or something that just operates as a standalone unit and has its own built-in Wi-Fi. You can buy your own games for it, has its own internal memory, wireless. It is what it is. But I don't know why they would do that, only because that already exists. And it's already doing very well. So why compete with something that's already succeeding? Like, you've got something special with the PS5 is that processing power. They have the new HD camera or whatever that they're hawking with it. Speaking of cameras, dude, I say we, but I mean me and any other PS camera owner are able to order the camera adapter, the long lost questioned, how are we going to get it? And, dude, I thought that maybe this would be the case. So you order it and go to PlayStation.com/camera-adaptor. It's ADAPTOR, not ER. For those of you people who don't know how to spell, you heathens, involves, you have to enter the serial number of your breakout box for the PSVR, and then they have to say, okay, this is legit serial. And then you put in your mailing address. I did this, and then it told me, okay, we got your request. We'll send you an email when we have more details about what's shipping this thing to you. How weird is that system?
I can't even begin to comprehend Sony's logic behind this whole thing. It's like, just include it in the fucking box. Like, it has to be cheaper that way.
Or just say the camera's not compatible with PS5. Get the new fucking camera.
Yeah,
and make the new camera go, like, just have the built-in adapter. You know what I mean? Like, with the new camera. Offer the adapter with the new camera if it doesn't connect to the old breakout box. Make them buy the new camera. That way you're making $50 and not paying for shipping and giving somebody something for free.
Or just use the same fucking adapter or the same port. Like, I don't understand why they had to change the port. It's not like it was...
I don't know. They're sure they have their reasons, but
it's all dumb.
Dude,
I'll tell you right now, just buy a new fucking camera. It's a better camera anyway.
Well, the new camera connect to the breakout box is the question.
No, it connects to the fucking console.
That's right. It doesn't connect to the box, which is weird that you have to give them the serial number. Yeah, this is what was confusing. I told you have to give them the serial number of the breakout box. You're like, why would you have to do that? It has nothing to do with the camera. And I'm like, I don't know, but that's what they need. That is true. You're not giving them the serial number of the fucking camera that you have. You're giving the serial number of the VR box that you have. That's so weird.
Probably because the camera itself doesn't have a serial number on it, and the only thing that supports the camera on the new console is going to be VR. I guess it kind of makes sense. I mean, it's fucking stupid, but it kind of makes sense.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's just so weird. Those things are going to be incredibly hard to get. You watch. And they're going to go on the black market very fast, those weird adapters. The latest Demon Souls gameplay trailer is astounding, Jake. I told you I watched it, and you're like, yeah, the game looks so much better than the original. But, dude, have you watched how good this game looks, the gameplay trailer? It's like a 3-minute trailer. My God, it's beautiful. It reminds me of that original Deep Down trailer we got when the PS4 was announced. Man, it just looks so damn good. This game looks fantastic. I don't know. Yeah, I probably won't buy it, but, I mean, it looks amazing.
Yeah, I've seen some gameplay footage of Demon Souls, and it looks a lot better than the original one. And the original game looked pretty good, to be honest with you, for being an early PS3 game.
Dude, it looks next level.
It's a great game, too. I mean, it's really fucking hard. Like, I would venture that, I mean, I don't know this for a fact because I haven't played all of them, but my understanding is that Demon Souls is the hardest Souls game of all of them, of all the Dark Souls, of all of the Bloodborns, of all that shit. Demon Souls is the hardest.
Well, the good news is that Blue Point was behind this, and they are like the de facto best upgrading old games, making them better looking company, remaster, whatever they call it. You know,
I mean,
it's not remaking; it's a remaster.
Remake, yeah.
So that's interesting, and I also read that everyone was kind of scoffing at like, oh, tips and hints, built right into the cards on your whatever menu for the PS5 user interface. They said that Demon Souls is going to be taking very big advantage of this. So hopefully, if you want to get a little bit of help, you can just say, okay, how do I kill this guy? I can't, he's just destroying me. And you can pull up the little cheat thing and it'll show you exactly what you need to do to beat him, maybe. I don't know. That's exciting, though. So that will be handy for that game.
Sure.
Deals on the PSN right now include a Planet of Discount deal, which is a ton of games. Jake, I looked at them. My top 3 picks on that list, from what I saw, the BioShock collection for $9.99 on the PS4. Can't beat that. $10 for those 3 BioShock games. That's crazy. XCOM 2 for $15 seems like a pretty good deal. And then I haven't played Watch Dogs 2, but it's been on my radar for a while. I know Watch Dogs 3 Legion just came out. And these games don't really float my boat per se, but they've always kind of interested me. All open world games like that kind of interest me. I don't know. I played the first one and I kind of feel like I want to play the second one because I beat the first one. But that game's $12 on this thing right now. So for $10, $25, $6, for $37, you can get 3, 4, 5 games that are pretty good. BioShock Collection, XCOM 2, and Watch Dogs 2. Are there any games right now, Jake, that you haven't purchased, that you've been meaning to purchase, that you just have kept your eye on waiting for a deal to strike? Do you have any games like that you keep looking at and you're like, it's not on sale?
I'm sure, but I'd have to put some thought into it.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff like that I have like a running list all the time of that kind of game. It's just something that like I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
That's fine.
What it actually is.
The PS app on the phone got a brand new update, and I was having a really hard time getting it to work. But eventually, not that the app sucks, I just didn't know how to use it because I have this new iOS on my iPhone. Thought it was like updating my apps automatically, but eventually it did. And I pulled it up here while I was taking notes, and that new app looks sick, dude. It's so smooth. It's like butter smooth for buying games and syncing to your PS4. Right now, I'm so stoked on the new app. It's really nice. Have you tried it? Have you looked at it?
I'll tell you this on the flip side of that. So I do not have the app, but a lot of times if I think of something that I want to buy or whatever, I'll buy it just in the store, like using like a browser on my computer. Like I'll be at work or something on lunch break or something. I want to buy something. Cause like even on there, you can say like download to your PS4 and it'll be ready when you get home or whatever.
Such a cool feature. They
updated the the PlayStation store on the browser. And I'll tell you this, it looks fucking awesome. It looks just from an aesthetic standpoint, way better than the previous store. Like generations better. But it runs like fucking trash.
Really?
I'm honestly blown away by how terrible it runs.
Dude.
Like half the time, like you'll click something and nothing will happen for like a minute, and then like a screen will pop. Like, you know how a lot of websites now are doing like all this. I don't know if it's actually Flash, but like a lot of these animations where like, let's say it's a store. And you click on something and you click on your cart, and then like a card will slide in from the side of the screen that's like your current like shopping cart, as opposed to going to like a new web page. So like Sony has a thing like that on their store now. I'd like click on my shopping cart and the little card would slide in from the side, and it would literally just be blank for like 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden like my shopping cart would pop in, or like it just wouldn't load at all, and I'd have to refresh the page. And I was having this problem at work, and we have enterprise level internet at work. It's not like I was, trying to do this on my home internet. And I tried it on the home internet too. So I don't know why the browser shit's so fucked up. Maybe it's because of whatever version of Chrome I'm using or something. I don't know. But like,
it seemed like the store is working good today when I was in there. I was looking at the deals on the store today. It seemed like it was working fine. But if you get that app for your phone, dude, I promise you, it is leaps and bounds. It's better than the PSN store on the console right now on the PS4. If this is an indication of how well it's going to run on the PS5, I am stoked. That's all I'm going to say.
If it's running native on the PS5, it would almost have to run faster, but I would hope so anyway, unless your internet connection's bad.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I haven't tried downloading the app. I honestly have kind of given up on downloading new apps on my phone because my phone is so fucking old.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm like getting to the point where you were when you had your iPhone 4 or whatever. Like, you had it like way longer than you should have.
Yeah, like 6 years, 7 years, 8 years.
Like right now I have a Galaxy S7, which is like 4 years old. Mm-hmm. So it's starting to like it like generally runs fine, but new apps and stuff like run like crap on it.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
I might download it. I just typically like if I want, a game or whatever, 9 times out of 10, I wait and just get on the PlayStation to buy it because it seems to be the fastest place to do it.
Which is still pretty freaking clunky right now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyways, dude, games this week that are coming out today, Dirt 5 Amplified Edition, November 3rd comes out today. Tomorrow, November 4th. I think that's tomorrow, right? What is today? Yeah. A game called Faeria, Faeria. Don't know what that is. And another game's coming out called My Universe School Teacher, November 6th, which I believe is Friday. It says Dirt 5, which is weird. So the Amplified Edition releases on the 3rd. Dirt 5 regular comes out on the 6th. And then Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered on November 6th, as well as Paw Patrol Mighty Pup Save Adventure something. Venture Bay, maybe. But that's all I got for the show. Jake, I don't have a whole lot. We're clocking in it. Not going to be a really long show. I still feel like I should do something special. If I get the PS5 next Thursday, which is supposed to come out on the 12th, Wednesday is actually Veterans Day, I believe. And because of my job, I do not work on Wednesday. That would have been great if that would have synced up with the release of the PS5, but it didn't. So I don't know, Jake. Should we plan something special for the PS5 release since I'm going to have a console? Well, should we do something? I feel like we should. I mean, we do have some dedicated listeners, and I think we should definitely have some PS5 talk. It sucks that you're not getting one on day one. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed for you, not at you.
I don't know. I mean, depending on, I might try to go to Walmart before work or something on launch day and see if they have one. But, I mean, they were supposed to do a third wave of pre-orders and they just never fucking put them up. So to be honest with you, it's not like I don't have the time or the inclination to just sit there and refresh Twitter on my phone or Reddit or whatever. So it's just kind of when they're readily available, I'll have one. But I don't know. We could talk about it. I mean, at the very least, you could do some kind of I was going to say, at the very least, you could do some kind of special thing on your own. Mm-hmm. You could even probably do some kind of a
video and put up
video from the console itself, I'm sure, kind of going through things and what you like and what you don't like and how it works and all that.
Yeah, knowing me though, it might take a while to do that because I don't like to put out kind of half-baked stuff. If anything, we will definitely have a little segment on the next show. This is all contingent on whether or not I actually get the PS5 I have on pre-order from Sam's Club. I may not show up. So if that happens, so be it. You know what I mean? But if it does, I will definitely talk briefly with you about it. I'm sure we'll talk about it maybe off the show a little bit. But I would like for you to experience DualSense a little bit so we can actually talk about it. And if that involves you coming over, if we can arrange that somehow, that would be awesome.
What I was just thinking about that's been irritating me about sorry, I'm kind of rewinding about 5 minutes, but
yeah, go ahead.
You said Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered comes out this week.
Yeah.
Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered is a remastered version of the 2010 game Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, which is a different game from the original Need for Speed 3 : Hot Pursuit. So it's because I'm what the fuck? Because I was kind of hoping.
There's 1,000 in these games though.
I was hoping that the remastered version was the remaster of the OG Hot Pursuit or Hot Pursuit 2, because those games were fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and they had just the most awesome soundtrack. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 specifically had a fucking amazing soundtrack. And so I was like, oh man, if they made a remake of that game, that'd be kind of cool. No, it's the remake of the 2010 Need for Speed game that, I don't know, maybe I didn't actually even read it or play it at all. So I don't know. Maybe it is a really well-regarded Need for Speed game.
If they're remastering it, I would think it was probably pretty good.
I mean, it's got 9 out of 10 on Steam. So if that tells you anything, I don't know. I don't know what the Metacritic score is, but I mean, it must be pretty decent. So I don't know. It's just confusing. I hate when companies do this, Modern Warfare Remastered, Modern Warfare, fucking Modern Warfare. You know what I mean? Why? I get it's getting to the point where we're remaking franchises in movies and games and shit so many times now that it's just what fucking version of this same story am I actually getting? And it's really, really confusing. But to all the Need for Speed fans out there, I hope you enjoy the Hot Pursuit remake on Friday or Thursday or Tuesday or whenever it's coming out.
Or whenever the hell you get it. Yeah. So, dude, anyways, expect a little bit of PS5 talk if I get it. If I don't, then Jake and I will have to be mum about it until I get it or he gets it. And we'll just go from there. I may put something up on YouTube. I may not. We'll see how much time I have. Those of you guys know I'm a musician. I've been working on another project. Jake and I are going to start cutting a record here. Second record, I think.
I'll tell you what, Fred, when we talk about, not this week, but next week, we talked about getting the band back together.
Yeah.
So maybe if we do it that weekend and we have practice or whatever, I can stick around and play with your PlayStation a little bit, and then we can maybe have a conversation about it. But
that'd be great. That'd be great.
We'll have to see. I mean, maybe I'll get lucky and I'll be able to get one before then, but I'm not going to fucking hold my breath.
No, I know. It's just so seldom that we get a new console, and being that we are pretty invested in gaming still at our age, and we do have a little disposable income, it's almost like not right that you didn't have an opportunity to get one.
I'll be honest with you, like, and I know that probably the audience might not want to hear this, but like it's probably partially because I don't have a pre-order, but like I'm honestly not that excited for the PS5.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, because it's like the PS4, like from the PS1 to the PS2, the PS2 to the PS3, the PS3 to the PS4, like those were genuinely brand new experiences. You know what I mean?
I think this is going to be brand new. I think you're going to be sideswiped on this.
The PS5, like to me, you know, obviously I like watch the UI stuff or whatever, and
load time
looks like it's just an iteration on the same kind of core PS4 experience, which makes sense. I mean, the whole goal of the PS4 was to create this ubiquitous PlayStation environment that they could iterate on and make everything kind of compatible and all that kind of stuff between the generations and stuff. And I get that. That's great. But like when I see it, I'm like, okay, I'm sure that like when I actually get my hands on it and I'm actually fiddling with it,
dude, I'll be
excited about it.
You're going to be cheesing playing it, dude.
I'm sure. I mean, but it's not like the PS4. When the PS4 came out, I was fucking amped, like waiting for the FedEx guy to show up at my house. You know what I mean?
It also could just be where you're at in life right now, too.
Could be.
I think that's a big part of it.
I don't play games as, you know, as hardcore as I used to. I mean, I get, you know, maybe 45 minutes to an hour a day of gaming in. Sometimes on the weekends I'll get a couple hours, but you know, it's so like it takes me a long time to get through games. I'm not like pounding through titles like I used to. That could be part of it.
I'm impressed you got through The Last of Us 2. I mean, it did take you considerably longer than me, but I'm glad that you got through it, and you got through it pretty quick considering how long of a game that was. And you never beat Red Dead 2, or did you?
I did. Yeah. No, I beat Red. It took me for fucking ever. It took me over a month to beat it.
If there's a game that like you're super jazzed about, I feel like, you know, like it makes complete sense that you'd be really excited to play it. You know what I mean? I think part of the issue is like, I think if Resistance was dropping a new Resistance game with the PS5, I would be way more excited. Like I'm kind of like on the fence about what game I want to get for it. I actually don't have any games pre-ordered for it, to be honest.
I think that's part of it too. It's like when the PS5 comes out, it's like, what title do you have that really makes me excited? There's nothing. Like even at least with the PS4, we got like Killzone Shadowfall and we got fucking Resogun right off the bat. So it was like we got two titles that were fucking awesome.
Well, to be fair, Resogun was a surprise. We didn't know it was going to be as awesome, and we're getting Bugsnax free with the PS5 Year Plus members. So Bugsnax, I don't think is going to be a Resogun. No way. But it could be enjoyable. I think the thing that I think the equivalent of the Killzone is the Modern Warfare game. Yeah. But I'm not. Call of Duty doesn't always do it for me. I mean, I do enjoy the single player a lot, and I'm looking for a game. We have a listener, LJ, wants to game up, play some games with me, and he made his first purchase. Said he got the Spider-Man game, which actually that game looks awesome, but as we know, it's not exclusive. It's not exclusive to PS5.
Do you know is Sackboy exclusive?
I don't know. That game looks good.
It does.
I know Ratchet and Clank is exclusive. If that would be dropping, I would be all in on that.
Yeah.
That game looks amazing.
I'm curious because it's one of those things where like Sackboy, it seems good. Like I'm interested in it, but it's not one of those games that like I'm kind of chomping at the bit to play. Like that's one of those cutesy kind of fun palate cleanser kind of games that you like to play when, you know, in the winter time when you're just kind of playing games and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Like the biggest thing for me would be like, well, what would be the game that I would play as soon as I got my PlayStation 5? Well, the only one that I can think of that I would be super excited to play
It's going to be on PS4. It'll be on
PS4, right?
Yeah.
The same thing with Spider-Man. It's like, I could play that on PS4.
Sackboy is also PS4 as well.
Sure. So it's like, okay, well, is Cyberpunk going to run better on PS5? Is it going to look better on PS5?
Yes.
Yeah. It might actually play. I'm honestly a little bit concerned that it might actually play like shit on the OG PS4.
That's why I'm just going to wait to get it on PS5. I mean, no rush.
It's not coming out till December now anyway, so who fucking cares?
2 more months, who gives a shit? I'll get it on PS5 and I'll be happy.
They might even delay it till next year. Dude, they've delayed that game so many times that it could be freaking next year before we play it. So.
There were so many blind followers of CD Projekt Red after The Witcher 3, and everyone was just 100% in on Cyberpunk, and they were blindly 100% in for so long, and just whatever they would say, just goo goo gaga over this game. CD Projekt Red is finally starting to lose the trust of these people, which is good because they have pushed it out a lot. I'm not mad that they pushed it out, but I think the last time prior to this time, they said it will not get pushed out again. This is the firm date.
The thing is that, like, I don't think that they have the right to. I mean, I don't think they should lose the trust of their supporters until the game comes out and it's bad. They could maybe lose the patience of their supporters.
Oh, they've lost that.
Understand that.
There are memes, dude. There are memes on the Reddit channel for Cyberpunk. Like every time CD Projekt Red has announced a delay, it's been this yellow Cyberpunk background with like black text. And it's like, hey, we regret to inform you, we know you're really excited, but, we really wanted to make sure we deliver the game. We were supposed to be delivering the game we promised, due to this, we know you'll understand. And we do regret it's going to be pushed out. Like there's like people on Reddit just posting that yellow background with just like random shit written on there just to get other people pissed off, just to see it show up on their Reddit feed. Like, oh, fuck, you know what I mean? Because like we've been teased for so long. I mean, they announced this game probably way too early. Like 3 or 4 years ago it was announced. They had a weird trailer and then it disappeared.
Longer than that, but yeah.
Dude, it disappeared. And then it came out and Keanu did that thing, a year ago, 2 years ago now or whatever. He came out and he's going to be Johnny Silverhand and people are so stoked. And then the game's been reworked. It's been it's just, God, they have figures in the store for Cyberpunk right now that the game doesn't even exist yet. It's crazy.
I mean, to be fair, like it looks
awesome.
Level.
Yeah, dude, it looks awesome.
And I would rather them delay it a million times and get like the best product than have them release it early because people can't hold their fucking patience. But they have to announce release dates because the people expect it. So they like probably pick the best version of the game. Like they pick the best kind of date that they can hope to hit. And then they get to a point and they're like, we're not ready. And the thing is that like, I just looked it up because I thought this was true. Cyberpunk went gold a month ago.
Yeah.
So what that means is that the game is complete and it's been submitted for certification. This was a month ago. October 5th is this article that I'm reading.
Gets approved. Yep.
And so like that means that for over the last month, they've been working on patching bugs and doing all this kind of stuff. And they just need more time to fix that shit. And the fact that they're asking for an additional month to do that. And it's not like they delayed it long time. They delayed it like, 3 weeks?
3 weeks, dude. That's it. 3 weeks.
So it's like, okay, they're probably like almost there, but they just got to put the little cherry on top, like trying to get the bugs out of it.
Some of these posts on Reddit, dude. There's some guy who is like wrote like the Cyberpunk Twitter account directly, and because they will respond once in a while, and the person was like, "Listen, I legitimately have to take off where I have to take off work in advance. I want to have the day off when the game releases. Will it get pushed out after this date?" And they were like, absolutely not. And literally the next day they said it got pushed out 3 weeks. And the guy was like, fuck. He had it all written out there and had it saved. It was so funny. But I mean, yeah, this shit just happens. You know what I mean? Like, join the club. Like, a lot of people get disappointed, but you're right. You're 100% right, Jake. This game needs to be, it's their baby, dude. It's like when we recorded our record. Like, we lamented over different things on that record. You know what I mean? Like, man, should we do this? Should we do that? What song should we submit for this? But, I mean, you want to put out the best version of what you can do at that time. And you know what? 3 more weeks, I'm willing to wait. But I'm willing to wait longer for the PS5 version. Yeah,
fuck it. I don't care. You can delay it another year. It doesn't really matter to me as long as it comes out and it's great. The thing is that people expect so much after the fucking Witcher 3 that what's going to happen is that they're we want it now, we want it now, we want it now, and then they get it early, and it's going to have a bunch of fucking bugs and shit, and then they're just going to slam them.
Yeah,
they're like, this isn't as good as The Witcher 3. Why does it have all these bugs in it? And it's just like,
this game sucks.
Do you guys like not understand how the world works? I mean, I understand that that's the vocal minority on the internet, but it's like, come on, man, think about it a little bit.
But I mean, I tell people this all the time. Like, we live in a day and age where people's patience just very seldom exists anymore with people. Like, we live in a world of immediacy, right? Your food, you can get it at the drop of the dime. You don't want to go out to Taco Bell to pick it up. Hell, they'll deliver it to you. You want to watch a movie? Okay, pull up Netflix, and then you bitch when Netflix is loading because it's taking too long. Or maybe you have to sign in. You want to fucking sign in because you should know your shit and you just want it right now. No. That's the world we live in, man. With everything. Do your grocery shopping. You don't want to go to the store and actually do the grocery. Sans COVID. Not even talking about COVID. You don't want to go in the grocery store and actually find your own food. You want to roll up to the grocery store, have it all pre-packed and in bags and just put in the back of your trunk for you. Like, that's the world we live in now, is a world of convenience. And people just don't want to hear that what they want is being held from them. And it kind of pisses me off, because there's a lot to be said about a patient person and a person who can, you know what I mean? Take a step back and be like, listen, put your feet, put the shoes on the other foot, understand where other people are in their life, in their world, in their situations, and just like, let things breathe a little bit, man. But it's just, I don't like the direction overall that the world's going with the immediacy thing. And I love my games loading faster. That's part of the reason why I'm stoked about the PS5. I don't want to sit there for 2 minutes and watch Red Dead load. I'd rather have it load in like 50 seconds or 40 seconds and jump in the game faster. I get it. Time is money, but at the same time, man, you gotta be realistic about this stuff. I mean, it's not like they're doing a simple math problem like 2 + 2. Like, they're making fucking Cyberpunk. like you can't do it. So give them the time they need. I don't know, dude. I'm done ranting.
Oh yes,
dude. I'm done bitching. Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. We're done with the show. Jake, you don't have anything else to add, do you?
Nope.
All right, awesome. So, as always, guys, please write into the show. We haven't had anybody write in a long time. We know you're out there. We know you're listening. Write us at psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Like I said before in the introduction, send us any questions. If you want us to talk about something specific regarding the PS5, I'd be happy to do it if I get the copy of it, if I get my my console. If I don't, then we'll just take your question, set it aside till we can actually speak on it. If you don't want to ask any questions, we're just going to pick topics to talk about. So, hope you guys enjoyed the show. So, like Bug Snacks, Bubble Bobble, and Bad Dudes. P.S. This is awesome.